Hollywood teaches us that a manhunt is loud. Sirens wailing, SWAT teams breaching doors, helicopters spotlighting a high-speed chase. But the reality of a modern manhunt begins in complete silence. When a criminal slips away from a crime scene without immediate detection, it creates a powerful illusion. To the public, and often to the fugitive themselves, it appears they have won. They believe they are off the grid. That belief relies on a completely outdated understanding of the world. Human beings are biologically and technologically incapable of moving through the 21st century landscape without leaving a permanent trail of evidence behind them. The actual pursuit doesn't start with a sprint down an alleyway. It starts inside intelligence centers, where analysts build timelines from security cameras, digital timestamps, and microscopic biological oversights. The concept of the perfect crime is an obsolete myth. It has been systematically dismantled by law enforcement's patience, observation, and rigorous scientific methodology. To local police responding to a single robbery or assault, the event usually presents as a chaotic, isolated burst of violence. The immediate focus is on securing the scene and identifying obvious witnesses. But when similar crimes occur, the investigative lens widens. Analysts deploy geographic profiling, a spatial analysis technique that maps the physical spread of multiple incidents to identify where an offender operates, and often where they live. To connect these seemingly random points on a map, investigators search for behavioral signatures. These are specific, highly individualized actions taken by the offender that satisfy a psychological need, left behind at every scene. By comparing minute markers across jurisdictions, experts definitively link the crimes, revealing a single perpetrator. But identifying the biological identity in those ridges forces investigators to seek the architect through behavioral science. This processing and cataloging of evidence relies on decades of forensic history. Generations of laboratory work laid the foundation for the sprawling nets cast today. Raw physical evidence is only the first layer of the trap. True capture requires understanding the mind that left that evidence behind. Television often portrays the profiler as a solitary genius who solves cases through sudden intuition or psychic guesswork. That character does not exist. Real FBI behavioral profiling is an institutional science. It relies on narrowing statistical probabilities based entirely on hard forensic data gathered from the crime scene. Analysts categorize an offender's psychological framework. They determine if the criminal acts impulsively and chaotically, or if their approach is methodical and heavily premeditated. They also measure the cooling-off period. By tracking the exact amount of time an offender waits between crimes, investigators can predict the velocity of future escalation and anticipate the next move. These techniques were forged over decades by analyzing the psychological frameworks of history's most notorious offenders, studying how meticulous and organized minds plan their attacks. The objective is not to predict the exact future. Profilers decode the offender's specific psychological vulnerabilities, exposing the compulsions that force them to make mistakes. Behavioral profiling doesn't catch the fugitive directly. It builds the invisible psychological box the fugitive will inevitably stumble into. A modern fugitive often believes that using aliases and paying in cash renders them invisible. They completely underestimate the density of the digital surveillance grid covering the globe. They are leaving behind digital exhaust. This is the continuous, invisible trail of data generated simply by existing and moving through modern society. Carrying a powered-on burner phone near a surveilled location does the heavy lifting for investigators. A single ping narrows thousands of suspects to a handful. Meanwhile, facial recognition algorithms process footage across state lines in minutes, rendering physical disguises mathematically useless. Even microscopic biological mistakes are now digitized. A single skin cell left at a scene can be sequenced and matched to distant relatives within global genealogy databases, identifying suspects who have never been arrested before. Sensing the pressure, fugitives adapt. They change their escape routes, swap vehicles frequently, and jump across state lines. To law enforcement, these frantic adaptations aren't evasions. They are simply new, highly trackable data points feeding directly into the behavioral profiles and digital tracking systems. The fugitive is no longer running from a physical detective in a trench coat. They are now trying to outrun a nationwide mathematical equation that cannot be beaten by speed or luck. The climax of a manhunt rarely resembles an action movie. There's no dramatic standoff or violent shootout. The actual arrest is a quiet, calculated inevitability. This overlapping diagram represents the convergence. It is the exact moment when physical forensics, behavioral profiling, and digital exhaust perfectly intersect on a single, isolated target. It takes only one psychological slip-up, one routine phone call, or a single microscopic drop of DNA to activate this trap. Fugitives ultimately fail because they are human beings operating under immense stress, burdened by psychological blind spots. The rigorous, institutional methodology hunting them does not panic, and it does not forget. Hollywood will always remember the adrenaline of the chase. But the permanent reality of the modern world is that methodology conquers chaos, and reality always leaves a trace.